Yo guys, this is QB from the Chopper Express. Just wanted to bring you my Black Luffy list. Kinda wanted to test it out a little bit, give you a rough draft of what I feel is not, I would say it's a high tier competitor, but it's probably more tier 2.5, tier 2-ish. Could probably get like a top here or there. But just kind of want to give a list that I've been working on and just see how it runs. So basically, what Black Luffy does is when a card is KO'd on your turn, give up to one Residon to this leader. So it's basically allows you to be aggressive by clearing board prior to doing your leader swing. So now you're able to basically summon Sakazuki or Kukaku and then basically go to a 7k sometimes for swing. So it allows you to swing good numbers or swing 6ks into the leader to get 2ks out of the hand and things like that as you're establishing board. Um, so for the list, I played 4 Kuzan, 4 Sakazuki, 4 Suru, 4 Borsalino, 4 Monkey D. Garp. I decided to play this 2K over Toshigi because I felt like it's a little bit better into Zoro in a sense. You could play it, but I think once you, it's just a, I think because you want to be aggressive in a sense, I think it's just the better 2K to play for this later. I can see the argument for Virgo or Toshigi. Virgo is something I tested as well as being since he is Navy and he's a 2K, but also gives you a turn 5 play that's like really good against some decks. 4 10 drop Guzan. So this is mostly just because I think a lot of the black decks outside of Lucci or like the navy built lists need to be like a little bit more heavy top end, just so that's kind of how you win. Especially if we're going to be testing out the Shanks today, you kind of want to be able to do the Regeki for the board by summoning Kuzan or Isho and then nuking your opponent's board. 2 Isho, and then a small CP9 engine, 4 Kaku, 4 Khalifa, 4 Fukuro, 4 brand new, 2 Shanks, 2 Meteor Volcano, and 4 Shockwave. I did look at the other starter deck block cards, such as, I'll bring them up real quick. I did look into Uta, Kobe, and Bon Clay for this list. They just didn't really work out really well. Uta's good, but because it has no counter power, sometimes it just clogs. It's just too many non-counter cards in your deck. Kobe's solid as well, early game, but it just doesn't have any. There's just no way to protect it. So basically, you're paying for 4 mana to pop a 2 cost card, and unless it's in combination with like unless it's in the late game in combination with like Shanks or Isho, Meteor Volcanoes just seems to be slightly better. You get to do it does the same thing but for cheaper cost and has a trigger. So like I just felt like it was better. And then Bon Clay, cards just never got summoned a lot, and right now we're in a pretty heavy removal format, so people were just able to remove it before you really get that value on its effect at this point in time. So those are the 3 other cards that I tested this earlier, but this is kind of the list that I felt like was more competitive. I tried to include them, but it just didn't really fare well into the format right now. And so this is what we try to go with. So let's run a game and see how it goes. Don't really know the matchups too well on this deck. Typically, if it's black, you usually get a good green matchup, and then green and yellow are usually the 2 decks, I think. In my opinion, that black kind of gets the good matchups for. Red is like okay here or there. Kind of depends what kind of list they're playing and how aggressive it is. If they're playing, I think you get like a decent Whitebeard matchup with this list because you get the pop and then also still swing 6 to the leader. Against Zoro, kind of just depends how aggressive their build is in a sense. We can see how we do against Law. We're gonna lose a die roll, go second. Hand's not bad. His Sakazuki has brand new. Brand new can kind of find us that mid range, that mid turn play. I think we're gonna go ahead and keep this hand, see how it goes. Pass on 1. Just something that black has to deal with. You're gonna pass on 1. I think one thing with law is that like the black versus law matchup is like you going second. It's a little bit different because you can kind of and going second, you can kind of starve them if they don't draw great. Like if they start like this, like you can kind of say, okay, cool, I'm gonna take the game a little slow because you didn't start out with a searcher, and I don't want to give you a searcher. It's because now I should have the opportunity to take all your cards. So I'm gonna go ahead and just summon out brand new. See if you can find me a turn 4 play. Finds me Borsalino. I could swing 6, and I might. My concern, my concern is that swinging 6 here I could give him a searcher because he obviously didn't have one turn one. So I mean, this hand's kind of bad, but let's see. We're going first, so odds are, if his hand's kind of bad, it means it could already have the restand laws. But I believe you take first damage versus laws. Card's pretty solid in this matchup actually. I'm gonna keep it. And that's what I mean. Like his hand's not good. I'm just gonna this turn. I'm just gonna go ahead and get the value. I think I should just go ahead and get the value on my Meteor Volcano. It's not gonna get any better. I mean, I could save it, but next turn he's shambling, and he put her out already, so I might as well get rid of her. And so we could be aggressive here. I'm not sure how I want to play it. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and swing 7 at lead. Like I said, his hand's kind of bad. I think we can give him one more card and feel okay. I'm gonna go ahead and bluff the Shockwave in this sense, just to see how he wants to play it. Sometimes you'll just put your own better habit, but I'm just gonna show the Shockwave in this sense, just to kind of get that good value. 5 here, that's fine. I'm gonna go and take it. I mean, this is kind of where I'm probably gonna try and sit at the rest of the game. I really don't want to go any lower than this, to be honest. He has 5 mana up, that's 2, 2, and then bounce, shambles. And this is fine too. He doesn't bounce the shopper back, which is probably isn't good. We're at 7, so let's just go ahead and get the value. And then use the Luffy effect. We're gonna get 1. Swing 3 here, get another Luffy effect off. And then swing a solid 8 at lead. And that's kind of what the Luffy deck probably wants to do the most, is be able to say, okay, cool, I'm gonna pop your card, I'm gonna pop a card, I'm gonna attack a weenie. Now my leader is effectively swinging 7k at you, which is good value. Now he's trying to turn on the jets a little bit. I'm going to protect myself. I think the thing in the law matchup you kind of gotta get a feel for is that they're not gonna let you get your 2k values. That's just the truth in my mind. They're going to swing 5Ks a lot of times. So it doesn't matter if you have 1Ks or 2Ks. Like, you're not getting the value on this card really. Shambles, summon another law. Yeah. Bounce back, summon another thing, swing face. I'm gonna go ahead and take this. Like I say, we're trying our hardest to make it to 10. We could summon Isha right here. So the hard thing is, like, and this is kind of where the Luffy deck kind of gets stuck, because like right here, I really want to summon Isha. That's what I really want to do. But like, how do I fit it in is the thing. And so I don't think in this case, I think we're going to swing 7. And we're probably not getting the Isha. And I think this is okay. Because now we're going to get the pop on the Zoro, get our effect, get a solid swing onto this law. We're just gonna try and, like, hopefully wall up. Ooh, is this another bug? This looks like a bug. So, and the thing is right now is we don't have a lot of counter. We are going to let this die. We really need to make sure we're staying high up in life. He has 4 cards in hand. He's going to start trying to swing good numbers. I can't take this. Go and take the free block. Obviously he has like either restand law or another law. So swing 8. He can have it. Best draw here would be Shanks, really. Yeah, see, obviously restand law. The chance he doesn't swing just because maybe he thinks he's gonna die on the back end, but he does not. Cool. And so this is where the game gets. Now he's at 1 life. He has 1 blocker. Probably has Rat Beam. I think what I want to do is, for sure, I want to play my Fukuro. Which, if I want to play my Fukuro, probably means I want to play some of these other cards. We really want to get a good swing on this. So, basically, I think the way to do that would be to swing, swing, swing. I'm going to look, see what I can get. Porcelano's solid. So now we get to get 2 blockers. So now that we have 2 rested on, let's go ahead and swing here. Get an effect. It's kind of hard. Just because I really want to. I want to swing face. I don't think we're gonna win trying to push through push the blocker, because he's just gonna block 1Ks. So I'm gonna go ahead and. I think I'm gonna swing face on this one. I'm gonna swing face. I don't think we're gonna win trying to punch blockers. We have to force him to have 2Ks in his hand, which he does. And we're gonna just try and put him on lethal. So play our 2 blockers, and then we're gonna pass, and we just want to try and survive. I think there's a chance if we survive, we can win, but it's gonna be hard. Right now, he's doing law things, so he's finding his value. So he found a rusher. So basically, he has 4 attacks right now. 4 attacks with 3 blockers. We'll see how he decides to play. Like, this is just one of those where I think this is part of the reason the greedy list is kind of a struggle. He swings 8 at Kaku. He has Zoro. Bounces 2 for Zoro. 2 for Zoro. He's trying to set up for lethal next turn, which means we need to kill him through this blocker, which means we need to keep Porcelano and their leader. So we can do 5, 5, 7, 9, and that would be 1, 2, 3. Maybe we could get there, but he has three attacks. So we can put 2 here, swing. We can guard 1 attack, I think. No, because he has 3, so we can do 1, 2, 7. I'm gonna block this. I really want to keep the Kaku. I think the Kaku makes the math easier. Oh, okay. Luffy's a thing too, which is fine. The question is, how do we want to play this? We know he has Restand Law. We don't have any counter power to do anything. He has Restand Law Zoro. I just don't think there's a better card than doing this right now. Like, we could punch for game, but I think if we don't analyze that as game, then we just get punished really bad. We're gonna do this. I think we can survive 1 more turn. Cool, I forgot about the Apu, that was there too. So it should be Zoro, Restand Law. So it should be. So this is the card that we kind of need to worry about, because this is the one that's going to get the good swing. Then 3. I think we have to take this. Let's get the pop on Dudan. That doesn't matter. Yeah, I think he got us. I don't think there was a way for us to kill him. He had a talent thing, so that's what it is. We're trying to run another game after this, see if we can get a better idea, better game. Not a better game. This is a really good game actually. I think it's just like one of those where like the black deck just struggles versus the law deck when it gets going. And you could argue that like you shouldn't give him any cards, but it's just like how do you finish the game? I think if we could have found like maybe Sakazuki or been able to get the 10, maybe we should have got the 10 drop down earlier. Here we go. Let's try yellow. Sakazuki is one of the cards you want to see, but Kuzan kind of defines the matchup, so this is a good hand. Kind of what you want to see versus yellow. Basically, all you want to do is yellow. You just want to make sure that like you don't take a lot of the other chip damage. I already have two Kuzan, so I'm gonna go and take the Meteor Volcano. You don't want to take the chip damage really. You want to try and like right now he's probably gonna swing 5 or so. This means Pero's coming down. The problem is that we don't have a lot of counter next turn, so I'm gonna go ahead and I think I'm gonna take it this one just to give us some more cards in hand. Should be Pero. Then we'll swing 5. Cool. Got Thunderbolt. Play Kuzan. This turn should be 7. And then a couple of 5s, so we'll go ahead and block. Ooh. Oh, Yamato. I think Yamato's fine, but we really need to get these CP9s on the grave then. We have an extra Dawn. So I think we actually swing this first, Rinku Yamato. Yeah, I was like, there's a world where he lets it die, but I think this gives us good value. And then if he wants to play on curve, then use the effect, get good 7k swing in now. He's gonna take this more than likely. I don't think he pitches 2 cards. Oh, I'm a liar. Play 7. Hopefully, we're kind of hoping it's the Big Mom. Just because as black, so like this is my philosophy with black. Like you can give them the card. This is a board. At the end of the day, like it doesn't look like it, but this is a board matchup. We're not here to like. You're not gonna win the game by like the way to win the game is going to be to make sure that these things aren't on the board, that you get good value. So like what's about to happen is we're going to first swing 6, try and get a 2k, and swing 5 again. I mean we could have played a card first, but it's fine. Play another Kuzan, play Boris. Probably have to eat a damage this turn, but next turn we should be able to pop either Linlin or Katakuri, whichever one comes down, and we should be able to snowball from here. If he wants to attack this, we're going to give it to him. The blocker late game is more important. Every blocker late game is a blocker. He wants to swing 7 of life. We're going to eat that too. And then we're basically going to swing 5 next turn. So he wants to swing 7. Swing 8. So we know it's not Curry. Swing 9. So I don't know what this is now, but going to take it. It's good value. This is fine. He didn't tap out, so it's probably he probably thinks he's going at 2. So we're gonna go ahead and swing 5 here. Shrink this down to less than that. Looks like he may have gotten a trigger. Don't know what it could be though. It could be probably arrow. Oh, it's this. I don't know if I want to. Yeah, because I'm bored nuking next turn. We can swing 5 again. We can shrink this one this time. Play 10. Should pop this. Get a good 6k swing now. This is kind of what the deck wants to do. I think I guess the thing is when you're playing like the deck, that we may need to like work on as you're going forward is like the fast matchups, because your deck's so greedy. The fast matchups, you got to figure out a way to 4, 9. We're actually going to protect this because he thinks he's trying to drop the Big Mom. And if he's trying to drop Big Mom, then I'm just trying to make sure that I can board nuke him, to be honest. I think. Yeah. So he plays Big Mom, so now she's a this, and now we should get a board nuke on him. And this should be game, basically. And so now we got a board nuke, do our effects. Now we have a 9k swing. Oh. So it should be game. Because now we have two big dudes. We have a 9k swing, a 10k swing, and this is kind of where the Luffy deck is what it wants to do. We don't really care about like swinging out. Yellow doesn't have any rushers. You could argue you should swing first, just in case that happens, so you can get another Dawn. But should be game. Just too much for the yellow deck to handle. But this is kind of just an example of what the deck can do. I think the matchups that you may want to like work some of the list towards, which may have to do with some of the non-counter and maybe even the shockwaves that I'm playing, you might want to convert those into the 6 king pistols. And the reason for that is because you play so many non-counter cards, you need to be able to essentially, because you play so many non-counter cards, you need to be able to get value off of them. So sometimes, I think sometimes when you play lists like this, you want to play more of you may just want to cut this card or play the 6 Kong pistol with it. Because if you do that, then now you can turn your non-counters into counters, you can get good value on things. So now your cards are getting value instead of like, instead of having the issue where sometimes you lose, like we lost the last game because we had no non-counter to counter out of anything. But let's that was a good game. We got to play against 2 meta decks. We saw, oh, that kind of also shows you how you kind of play against the yellow deck. My interpretation is like whenever they tap out, you are punching them in the mouth. That's just the way you do it. They have to expend cards or lose a lot of life, and you don't want, especially if they're going to be getting life. And also, if you're a black deck, you just want to control the board as much as possible, setting up your Kuzans. And I think the big thing with Kuzan in that matchup is like understanding that you're going to lose it sometimes to random Thunderbolts in life, but leaving it standing for the turns where they go tap out is really strong, because now you're able to give all your poppers range so that they can actually out the board, and now you're establishing board, and it's a board matchup. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many life that the yellow deck has. You have so many blockers that you can block that. But just to give my final thoughts about the Luffy deck, the Black Luffy deck, I think the deck is really solid. My biggest thing is that I don't think it has the ability to win the meta matchups very often so far. I think you have a strong Whitebeard matchup because you have Sakazuki, and that card honestly kind of defines that matchup. You may have trouble closing the matchup, but you have top end that can kind of get you there. And as long as in the games where the game goes long, it's always favored towards use because of Shanks, Kuzan, and Isho, so you can always use those in conjunction. Some of the things that I would test out going further would be that 6 Kong pistol, 6 King pistol. I would test that out really heavily just to like give your non-counters more flexibility. I know it costs 2 cards. Also, it's decent into the law and Zora matchup off of life because you get to pop one on the minions. So that's my Black Luffy list. Sorry for the late arrival of it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Leave comments on what you want us to see want us to do as we proceed to do the channel, leave comments to let us know what we can do to help going further. As well, we should have possibly some more deck lists. I have to do a tournament report coming up over my Carta Magica tournament. I got top 100. I get 79th, but we'll go over Rogue versus Meta. We also have Edwin bringing his Katakuri list from a Mega Shakes case tournament that we threw this past Sunday, and probably just trying to do some more deck lists, get into OPO4 meta a little bit as well, but it shows some insight and gains between us. Thank you for watching, and appreciate you.